Have you ever wondered why a peaceful protest can suddenly spiral into chaos? Or why a stadium full of fans can feel electrifying one moment and dangerous the next? Crowds have a strange power. They can lift us beyond ourselves or strip us of the very things that make us unique. Today we're diving into a question that has fascinated psychologists, sociologists, and political thinkers for more than a century. What really happens to our minds when we become part of a crowd? Welcome to Neuro&Psycho, where we explore the fascinating crossroads between psychology, the brain, and everyday life. In this episode, we'll unravel the enduring insights of Gustave Le Bon, whose 1895 book The Crowd, a study of the popular mind, laid the groundwork for understanding group dynamics. We'll see why his theories are still relevant, from political rallies to social media movements, and how the mysterious psychology of crowds shapes our choices, emotions, and identities. By the end, you'll have a deeper understanding of why we sometimes lose ourselves in the masses, and how that can be both empowering and dangerous. When Gustave Le Bon observed crowds in late 19th century France, he noticed something startling. People who were rational, cautious, and even timid in daily life seemed transformed when they gathered in large groups. It was as if the crowd created a new kind of mind, one that lived beyond the individual. Le Bon argued that anonymity within a mass freed people from responsibility. Imagine being in a sea of thousands. Your voice is drowned, your actions invisible, and suddenly you feel bolder. That's why a quiet individual might shout slogans at a rally, or even throw a stone during a riot. The crowd blurs the edges of the self, but it wasn't just about courage. Le Bon believed that logic itself weakens in the presence of a crowd. Emotions dominate. Anger, excitement, hope, or fear sweep through like wildfire. He called this phenomenon psychological contagion. Just as a virus spreads invisibly from person to person, so too do emotions and ideas. A simple chant in a stadium can grow into a thunderous roar. A spark of anger on social media can ignite into global outrage within hours. When we're swept up in the crowd, our reasoning is bypassed by a tidal wave of shared feeling. That's why crowds often gravitate toward simple slogans and bold symbols. Think of liberty, equality, fraternity during the French Revolution, or more recently, "Yes, we can," and "Make America Great Again." These phrases don't explain policies or offer nuance. They resonate emotionally, creating unity through simplicity. For Le Bon, this explained why crowds could appear irrational. They didn't need detailed arguments, they needed compelling images and repeated messages. This leads us to the role of leaders. According to Le Bon, a charismatic figure can channel the raw energy of a crowd. But how? Through three powerful tools: repetition, simplification, and authority. First, repeat a message often enough and it lodges in the collective mind. Second, simplify, strip away complexity so that anyone, regardless of education or background, can understand. Third, project authority, an aura of certainty that reassures the crowd and commands obedience. When these elements combine, even fragile ideas can gain unstoppable momentum. Today we see this everywhere. In politics, advertising, and especially on social media, where influencers rely on constant repetition, catchy slogans, and the subtle suggestion of authority to mobilize millions. Of course, Le Bon's vision wasn't without flaws. He tended to paint crowds as irrational mobs, prone to violence and manipulation. Critics argue that he overlooked the positive, constructive side of collective behavior. Think of climate marches, where people gather peacefully to demand a livable planet. Or consider sports crowds. Yes, some matches descend into hooliganism, but others produce extraordinary moments of shared joy. A last-minute goal unites strangers in celebration, breaking down social barriers, if only for a night. Here, contagion spreads happiness rather than aggression. Modern psychology has expanded on Le Bon's ideas, showing that not all crowds suppress individuality. Social identity theory, for example, emphasizes that crowds can enhance a sense of belonging, not erase it. When fans wear the same colors at a match, or citizens don the same symbol at a demonstration, they are not losing themselves but expressing a shared identity. Unity isn't always a loss of self. It can be an affirmation of something larger. Yet, in the age of social media, Luban's warnings about contagion feel eerily prescient. Online, anonymity is amplified, and emotional contagion spreads at lightning speed. A viral post can mobilize millions across continents. Algorithms act as invisible leaders, reinforcing what we already believe, and amplifying outrage or enthusiasm. Unlike the crowds of Luban's time, these digital collectives don't vanish when the demonstration ends. They persist, growing stronger with every click, like a permanent crowd in our pockets. But here's the paradox. While we can be swept away by the crowd, we also have tools to resist. Education and critical thinking act like antibodies against psychological contagion. When we learn to pause, analyze, and question, we can enjoy the positive energy of collective life without surrendering to its dangers. The challenge is not to avoid crowds, since they are part of politics, culture, and even art, but to navigate them consciously. So, what do we take away from Luban's work today? That crowds are not just gatherings of people. They are living organisms of emotion and influence. They can elevate us, giving us courage and solidarity, or they can drag us into destructive spirals. Understanding their dynamics is not just a matter for sociologists or historians. It's a vital skill for anyone living in a world where movements, memes, and mass emotions shape our daily reality. To see the crowd clearly is, in many ways, to better understand ourselves. If you found this journey into the psychology of crowds insightful, give this video a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more explorations at the crossroads of mind, brain, and society. This episode was inspired by an article published on Neuro&Psycho website. You can find the full written version linked in the description. For more articles, visit neuroandpsycho.com.